Hello, welcome to another episode of Unfiltered Voices.
Today, we're going to be discussing expectations versus reality. Now, before we started this episode, me and John had a little joke because we're some of the kids in here are a little too young to remember this. But when I was coming back in college, I remember watching a show called Blue Mountain State. It's a R-rated show, so kids out there don't watch it. Okay, that's what I was expecting college to be like.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Completely different.
The college parties,
the
football team.
You shouldn't be watching it.
No, I won't.
Yeah, you're too young.
Yeah,
Stay away.
letting you
Stay away
know.
from them.
I like Cocomelon.
Baby.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You watch the latest episode of Sesame Street?
No. It's a little too scary.
He's a cookie monster, right? You get diverse as a cookie
Yeah,
monster.
yeah.
He's gonna need parental supervision.
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
With a range.
Yeah. I do carefully read the what's the rated PG description
Oh,
for every
okay.
episode.
As you
The
should.
If it's over
Guidelines,
13,
yeah.
I haven't done that.
Okay,
Yeah,
good to
that's
know.
smart.
Shouldn't your parents be doing that?
No, I can
You're,
read.
you're too young to read. Like,
It is past kindergarten.
he's gifted.
Yeah, I'm a gifted 4-year-old.
So I don't know about you guys, but I fell into the polished trap. So on algorithms on social media, they push these videos about these people living their best lives in college, but they only show the best parts about their lives,
Yeah.
right? They don't show the burnout, the stress, the financial stress, the mental stress, the emotional stress that comes with post-secondary institutions, right? Do you guys think the expectations don't really necessarily meet the reality of university?
Yeah, I mean, when you look up the Instagram, there are creators who's just showing you aesthetics. You going to school having matching phone, matching laptop, and everything, you know. And at one point, you want that too.
Yeah.
But it's now what's gonna help you with school. Like you come to school, like think about, oh, I'm gonna make friends, I'm gonna party every weekend, but that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's not what school is. You're gonna feel lonely as you have ever been. So be prepared for it.
Yeah, I feel like too. I don't know if the perception's changing of it, but I know like you mentioned Blue Mountain State, and that was kind of before university was when I assumed university would be the wild parties and the strong community where everybody's blowing off classes to hang out and whatever, and that very much hasn't been the experience, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because I don't think that would necessarily be a positive university experience, but it definitely was a difference from my perception.
For yourself?
Yeah, I don't know. It's I can't say I follow too many accounts that kind of go off college or what it's supposed to be like, but I would say it's a lot more.
He's fresh out of high school.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just a transition. I think for me right now, it still feels more like work is priority and school is kind of something I do. Maybe it's because of like a lower class load or whatever, but I'm only here on Wednesdays, especially this term.
Right.
It's one day a week. I have 2 classes. One of them is online, so it's. Maybe even after COVID it kind of changed, but especially with online classes becoming more popular, you're not maybe having that same community that you had before because you're not meeting as many people in the classroom. You're behind a laptop. Funny enough, my class is playing in the background. So it's one of those things where again, you kind of build a community through the classes you're in. But for me, again, there's no partying, there's no extravagant lifestyle to it. It's just work is kind of my thing and. Schools, it very much feels just more like a relaxed high school. I don't really have a day plan where it's 6 hours, recess is this time, lunch is this time, plus 4 classes. Look, you got 2 classes, one's online, one's in person, show up and, self-teach as much as you can, get ready for this test or quiz, and kind of go from there. Yeah. But it's definitely not a movie-like experience or anything for me at all. And I'm not opposed to that. It's actually kind of what I prefer. Just lets me focus on what I want to do.
I think it's because like everybody's working, majority of people got full-time jobs. After school they're going to their jobs and we feel like we need to make friends, but nobody got time. They're rushing from work to school and school to work, and that's why we're struggling to make connections, I guess.
Yeah, I find a lot of the connections I make at university is very superficial. So it's like meeting acquaintances almost. But like the deep friendships, it's more challenging to create those deep friendships.
Right.
I have created deep friendships mostly in this calendar year, so last fall term. But that's a recent phenomenon for me. Like it's taken a few years to build those relationships. Hanging out at university, I think I hang out with this group for this group project the most.
I think this is the most
yeah.
I have talked to anybody in like 4 years.
Yeah. And it's a solid group.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, going forward, I hope we keep in touch. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing too, is group projects, something like this will bring together a community, but it's definitely not like the frat houses where you kind of, there's a certain handshake or whatever you need to get in. It's
Right.
We're taking a pledge here.
Yeah, pledge or whatever. There's no, initiation. It's
Oh yeah, we haven't made you do the Asian rituals yet.
I was looking forward to it. Way that improved.
But no, honestly, like it's not been too bad either, though.
Yeah.
Like it hasn't been overwhelming in the sense that I don't need to. I'm not a big party guy. I'm older, and so
Yeah, he had to mention that he's old.
yeah, I am. Right.
More
Like,
fun.
He's single, by the way.
guys,
Get it, Mom.
rewind. But yeah, now I've lost my train of thought.
Comes of age.
The gray hairs, the mental faculties start going,
It's all
my hands start shaking. You know, I'm gonna need some assistance.
Time to
in that
settle
thing.
down.
Time to settle.
Yeah.
But no, kind of like you were saying, I don't think any of us are really craving the party lifestyle.
No.
The
Yeah.
bright lights. I mean, we're at UFV, we're not at University of Miami, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But again, it's head down.
No
Get your
shade
work
to
done.
University of
sad.
Miami.
No, definitely shameless. Wild.
Not trying to
Focus
shade.
on school and settle down. More to life than parties.
Let's just say we don't have that kind of money.
Yeah,
We're poor.
yeah.
We're in a budget-friendly school.
Budget-friendly school.
Yeah. But the nice thing is, I think everyone relates to that here,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we don't all want to go like shopping at designer clothes all the time and stuff like that. But like, we'll still meet up outside of class time, maybe grab Tim Hortons or something. I know, like as a group, we grab Tim Hortons. Yeah, Timmy's a few times, right? Like it's been nice.
We're out here trying to collect roll-ups.
Yeah, that reminds me. I have a couple free coffees.
Like,
Oh, wow, nice. Yeah.
rich guy, poorish.
Is there anything you guys wish that you've seen online or that you've seen in videos? Is there anything that you wish was true about maybe the persona or how university or college life is perceived?
There's one thing for me. I remember the Cascade wrote an article about this. That's the newspaper, university newspaper. Great read, by the way, guys. Make sure you read it. I am affiliated with it. I'm on the board. So.
Not promoting anyone.
Shameless promo.
It's but I'm not. I don't take any.
He's not getting paid though.
Yeah, I'm not getting paid. It's a
Yeah.
free position, so yeah. Anyways, I learned that the campus had a pub previously here, where K Building is.
Really?
And at that pub, I was talking to people. I was talking to a professor I had last term, and he said that he became a professor because he used to meet his professors at the pub, and they just have conversations, and that inspired him to continue on in academia.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I was old enough to go to it when it was still.
Oh, no way. Oh, wow.
I used to go there every New Year's. They had a big New Year's celebration, and so we go and.
That's awesome. Wouldn't it be amazing if you could socialize with like professors and stuff, just to talk to them, like just pick their brains a bit, outside of class
I do think
hours?
that's something we're missing for sure. Yeah, I agree with that.
It is still very much like high school student and teacher in that sense. Right?
Yeah.
It's a little less community.
I think it's really hard making a connection with a professor. Like if you're trying to talk to them about anything that's not related to like school, you feel kind of awkward. You have that kind of like hesitation, like how would they react to it, or how would it take it? That pub would have been a great idea if you want to, want some sort of help. You want to talk to a professor, and if it's not like related to your academic thing, it would have been a great idea.
Yeah. There's not really places to socialize on campus, right? Like you have the S building, I guess, but I don't really feel like there's much reason to hang around there. And so I feel like the campus could use a pub or some kind of dedicated space just to really like encourage socialization.
I mean, they do bunny yoga in S building.
Oh, did they?
Oh.
I wanted to go there one time, but it was like all women. I was like, no.
Hey.
Like, no, because like I don't want to be uncomfortable. I don't want to make other strangers uncomfortable. I don't
Why
know
would
them.
they be uncomfortable?
Because you gotta do yoga poses with bunnies. I don't know.
So what? Everybody else is doing
Bunnies
it as
don't
well.
care.
My dog chases bunnies behind the
Ah,
house.
crap.
You should have brought Griffin with you.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Make sure you check out our Instagram page. There's gonna be lots of posts of Griffin. Yeah.
I love
He's our
it.
mascot or sponsor.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's our main sponsor.
Main sponsor of this video.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Griffin.
And I think that wraps up our
Yeah.
podcast
Yeah.
for this term. Thank you all for tuning in. I had a great time.
Yeah.
Everybody did.
Yeah.
We're
And,
sure you did too.
remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.
Until next time.
What do you mean next?
We might post more.
Yeah, we're gonna run over by